The Boston Tea Party happened in 1773 as a dramatic act of colonial protest against British taxation policies, reflecting escalating tensions between the American colonies and the British government, and it set in motion a series of events that ultimately led to the American Revolution. In the years following the French and Indian War, Britain faced massive debts and sought to assert greater control over its American colonies, implementing a series of taxes on goods, including the 1767 Townshend Acts and later, the Tea Act of 1773, which granted the British East India Company the right to sell surplus tea directly to the colonies at a reduced tax while maintaining the principle of parliamentary taxation. Colonists viewed this not as a relief but as an attempt to establish a precedent for taxation without representation, violating their long-held rights as Englishmen to consent to taxes through their own assemblies. The Tea Act also threatened local merchants and smugglers, who would be undercut by the East India Company's cheap, legally imported tea, heightening economic resentment. In response, colonial leaders organized widespread resistance, promoting boycotts and encouraging the population to refuse the imported tea. In Boston, a city with a history of protest and radical activism, tensions boiled over when a shipment of British tea arrived in the harbor in November 1773. On the night of December 16, a group of colonists disguised as Mohawk Indians, symbolizing their distinctly American identity, boarded 3 British ships, the Dartmouth, Eleanor and Beaver, and dumped 342 chests of tea into Boston Harbor, destroying the valuable cargo to make a public and unmistakable statement against British authority. This bold act of defiance was illegal and provocative, but it was also calculated to unite colonists around a shared cause, drawing widespread attention in America and abroad. The British government, shocked by the destruction of property, responded harshly with the Coercive Acts, also called the Intolerable Acts, in 1774, which closed Boston Harbor, restricted town meetings, and expanded the powers of the royal governor, aiming to punish Massachusetts and intimidate other colonies. Instead, these measures galvanized colonial opposition, leading to greater unity among the 13 colonies and the formation of the First Continental Congress, which coordinated resistance, called for boycotts of British goods, and petitioned the king to restore their rights. The Boston Tea Party thus transformed localized protest into a catalyst for revolutionary activity, escalating tensions into open conflict, and contributing directly to the outbreak of the Revolutionary War in 1775, when colonial militias confronted British troops at Lexington and Concord. In the aftermath, the event became an enduring symbol of American resistance to tyranny and injustice, celebrated in patriotic memory and propaganda, and it demonstrated the willingness of ordinary citizens to take radical action to defend their perceived rights, setting a precedent for direct, organized political protest that influenced the broader revolutionary movement and shaped the colony's path toward independence.